Welcome to this gentle yet powerful class designed specifically for postnatal core recovery. You can actually do this class after you've given birth. You don't have to wait until your 6-week postnatal checkup. As long as you've passed urine, you can try this class out. So I'm Hannah.
And I'm Celeste, and actually I haven't had a child, but I have got weakness on the right side of my core and pelvic floor, so I'm really excited to try this to see if it can help me.
Yeah, so that's a really good point, because whether you've had a baby a few months ago or a few years ago, or you haven't had a baby at all, you may still feel like your core doesn't connect in the way that it should, and you are not alone. Maybe you've tried loads of crunches and loads of specific exercises, but maybe your belly still feels soft, or your back aches, or you just feel disconnected from your center. So many people are where you are. I promise you, I've been there too. I know how disheartening it can feel, but this practice here is to help you rebuild from the inside out, reconnecting the breath to the brain, to the body. And it may seem like what we're doing is really simple, but these are the fundamentals, okay? So don't skip this. What I'd love you to do is, in any comfortable seated position, you're gonna place one hand on the belly and one hand on your heart. And you're gonna grow tall from the crown of your head, feeling yourself getting a nice long spine. And perhaps you can shift forwards and back for a moment and just find that middle point. Maybe a little bit of side to side. And I just want to do a breath with you 3 rounds. It's called golden thread. We breathe in through the nose and we whisper the breath out through the mouth. So super slow, releasing out through the mouth like you're blowing out through a straw. And you can even visualize a golden thread of energy releasing from your mouth as you do so. Really extended exhale. So as you breathe in, feel the breath going 360 around the body. Your hands are moving. You're not forcing your breath into your body. It's just moving as you breathe. And as you exhale, whisper that breath out really, really slowly. Picture that golden thread of energy and maybe let go of anything that's not serving you. One more time, just like that. Breathe in. And whisper the breath out, let go. Excellent. If the eyes are closed, you're going to blink them open. You're gently going to come down onto your back. You're going to bend your knees so your feet are flat on the floor. You're going to bring your hands on your pelvis and you're going to take a few rocks backwards and forwards. So yeah. And what we're trying to do here is just come into an anterior tilt and then come into a posterior tilt. And then we're going to find the middle point. So effectively our neutral spine. And we don't want to, you'll notice that Celeste has a little gap underneath her lower back for neutral. We don't need to imprint or push the lower back down. Nice. And having the hands where she has them on the body as well, just above the hip bones or just to the inside of the hip bones, is great because you can feel the breath moving the body. So just like we just did, the inhale, I want you to feel the ribs moving outwards to the sides, to the back. The belly is naturally moving with the breath. But this time we're going to focus on the pelvic floor on the exhale. So as you exhale, imagine you're zipping from back to front, like you're trying to stop yourself from passing wind and water. And imagine an elevator that's lifting up from ground floor up 2 floors. Then as you inhale, fully release the pelvic floor. That elevator is going back down to basement, not just ground. And your body is moving as you breathe. Okay, did that make sense? Excellent. Amazing. So we're going to do that 9 more times together. Are you ready? So breathe in, release engagement. Breathe out. Feel that zip back to front. Feel the elevator lifting. Nice. Breathe in, fully release. Elevator goes down to basement. Belly moves. Lovely. Exhale. You can breathe in and out through the nose if you wish, or if you exhale through pursed lips, that can help with this connection as well. But aim over time to go to nasal breathing. Nice. Inhale. Exhale. Find that connection to the core, for the pelvic floor. Feel that lift. Really nice. Breathe in. Halfway there. Exhale. Feel that zipper. Lift through the pelvic floor. Inhale, fully release. Exhale, feel that lift when you're ready. If you're breathing at a different speed to me, that's okay as well. Inhale, release. Keep going with engagement in exactly the same way. If you have recently given birth, this may feel really difficult. It may feel really hard to connect to this area of your body. This is completely normal. I have had 2 babies. I've felt what this feels like, but intention is enough. With time, you will get more and more connection, okay? Think about putting your brain in that area and doing the best you can, because that is enough. And it's really, really important to focus on that lengthening, that inhale phase when you're releasing the elevator down to that basement level, because we can't get a strong pelvic floor if we do not know how to release it. You're doing amazing. You're going to do one more. So when you're ready, you're breathing in. And then as you exhale, lift the pelvic floor, lift the elevator. Nice. Then inhale, fully release, let it go down to basement, and just take a few belly breaths, releasing engagement completely, giving yourself a moment to pause. What we're going to do this in different positions. So I'm going to ask Celeste to come onto her left side. You can keep the knees bent. Yeah, lovely. See how she is releasing her head onto her arm, keeping the spine nice and long. And I want you to, place the hand. See how she's got a hand underneath her side ribs. So she's lifting her side waist away from the floor, okay? Perfect. Keep that sensation, exactly the same cues as before. We're going to do 5 on this side, then we're going to switch. So as you inhale, you feel the body moving with the breath. And as you exhale, you draw from back to front, you lift through the elevator. Nice, and you can use the fingers on the body. See how she's palpating just to the inside of her hip bone. As you exhale, you should feel a little bit of tensioning underneath that area. Again, if you're not, with time it will happen. Keep lifting the side waist away from the floor, and each exhale, feel the hip bones drawing together, feel that elevator lifting. Nice. You're going to do 2 more. Breathe in. Exhale, feel that lift. Last time, breathing in. And breathing out. Draw everything in and up. Lovely. Breathe it in, release. And you're going to switch sides. So coming onto your right side, using the right arm to cushion your head. Excellent. You feeling okay?
Yeah, I feel really good.
It's strangely harder than we think, isn't it? To slow down and do this, to get the engagement. Or are you feeling...
I'm okay, because I've been practicing this a lot recently, because as I mentioned, I've got this weak right side that I'm working on.
Okay.
But I take your point. When I first started, it was like, it was a little bit like, hang on, what's going on?
Yeah, lots of concentration. Okay, so you're lifting the side waist away from the floor. Nice. Inhale, feel that expansion. Exhale, lifting the elevator back to front zip, lifting it up those 2 floors, drawing the hip bones towards each other. Breathing in, release. And exhale again, find that lift. Remember, you can use the pursed lipped breath if it's helpful for you, but over time, try and come back to nasal breathing. Nice. So inhale, releasing when you're ready.
The inhale of the nose going straight down instead of up the nose going down
so
helps me as well so much.
So as you inhale, so continue doing the movements as I'm speaking, or the exercise when I'm speaking. As you inhale, instead of thinking inhale the breath going up the nose, what can be really helpful to get the diaphragm working is to imagine the breath going into your face and down. I don't know why it works, but it does. And my friend Jamie taught it to me.
And he's a breath expert, isn't he? And it was such a game changer for both of us.
Yeah, Jamie Clements, I forgot his name. He's amazing breathwork teacher, and it was a game changer for both of us. You're going to do 1 more, okay? That 5th one. Breathe in. And then exhale, find that zip, lift the elevator. Perfect. And then inhale, fully release. Gently push yourself up. We're going to come up into tabletop, and we're going to do 5 more. Yes. These may feel boring and it may feel long. However, these are the foundations, I promise you, and we're doing it in all different positions because we need our pelvic floor to be functional in all different positions. Okay, so in your tabletop pose, wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips, keeping this nice neutral spine. See how Celeste has got her natural curves. The lower back's going down a little bit, the upper back is going up a little bit. Imagine you're reaching your sit bones away from the crown of your head, finding that length. And then as you inhale, again, you feel that 360 breath, think nose into the face and down. And as you exhale, again, you're zipping up back to front pelvic floor, lifting those 2 floors of your elevator. And then inhale, find that expansion. So moving between the two, getting a kind of, I suppose, really gentle moving meditation. I can't tell what Celeste is doing, but lots is going on within her body. And actually, if your body is trying to shift or grip, like glutes sometimes grip, then actively release those areas and see if you can just focus on your pelvic floor and deep abdominals. It's hard because they kind of all work as a team. So don't worry if things are moving a little bit over time, it's going to get easier. Now you're going to do one more. So find that expansion as you breathe in and find that contraction, that lift up 2 floors as you breathe out.
Interestingly, my right pelvic floor, as I mentioned, with the right side of the core was not working. And because I'm taking a bit of time now to just pause in the tabletop, I'm noticing that even the right shoulder and arm is less connected. So it's almost like the whole right side needs this time to reconnect back in. And almost like just reminding the left side it doesn't have to work so hard, and getting the right side to come a little more online. It's really, like, it takes, Hannah was saying it's boring, but you actually need the time to figure out the pieces of your body's puzzle.
Yeah, absolutely. And it can be hard when you have a baby because you have a newborn to support, exactly. But whenever you can take the time, it's definitely worth it. So now we're going to come down back onto your back. I want you to sit down. I want you to come onto your side first and then gently lower yourself down. Because if you're newly postpartum, going straight back is probably going to be too much demand for the core. So we're going to do some bridges, so some gentle movements with exactly the same activation as before. We're going to do 5 times. Of course, you can pause the video and do more if you wish. So exhale, you're lifting, you're feeling that lift of the elevator, you're drawing the hip bones towards each other. Inhale, you're lowering and you're feeling the expansion. Exhale, lift. If you need a little bit more support, you can pause at the top, take an inhale and then exhale and lower, okay? Nice. So just tune into your body and try not to rush, because rushing through these parts is not going to do you well in the long run. It's better to move slow, and in the end you're going to be stronger than ever. Nice. Gently bring it down. Beautiful. Exhale. Feel that lift. When you're ready, lift to the pelvic floor, drawing in. Nice. Pause and breathe in. And then exhale to lower. Perfect. So actually going to end in child's pose. Again, come over to one side and use your hands to push yourself up. You can have the knees wide, you can have the legs together, whatever feels better for you. Nice. And what I want you to focus on is I want you to picture your sit bones. So those bony points that when you sit down on a chair, perhaps you can feel them on the chair. And I don't want any engagement on the pelvic floor or any conscious engagement on the pelvic floor as you exhale. I want you to really focus on the inhale and imagine your pelvic floor lengthening as you inhale, and imagine those sitting bones widening away from each other as you inhale. And maybe as you exhale, you can blow that imaginary golden thread out through your mouth, just like we did at the start. And instead of finding engagement, you're going to find release, that sensation of letting go what you don't need. As I said, learning how to fully release your pelvic floor is vital to gaining a strong pelvic floor. So you're going to stay here in this child's pose for as long as you need, okay? Now, as always, any questions, please come into the comments. I love hearing from you. Helping postnatal women is a real passion of mine. So if you have any questions, if you want any other videos, happy to help. See you on the mat again next time. I really hope this class helped you.